Spring is in full bloom here in the UK, and whilst I've been out doing wildlife photography, I've also been at home in the garden trying to prepare it for summer. This year I want to make a few changes that will encourage even more wildlife to visit my area, and that's where I need your help in deciding what to do with my garden. The feedback I've had recently on my pond videos has been amazing, and I'd love to get more of that feedback on how I can improve different habitats for more wildlife. So until I can read your comments from this video, I've already started by placing a brush pile close to the pond. This is a great habitat for insects, small mammals, and particularly birds that love to forage in amongst it. I've also been sure to keep my feeders topped up over the colder winter months, but now that it's spring, it's time for a good clean. So to do that, I began by taking apart all of my feeders, including this Birdfeed Feeder 2, which has cameras, which I disconnected first and took this opportunity to connect to my new Wi-Fi. I gave the cameras a full charge whilst I began dismantling and cleaning the rest of the station. I first used cold water to remove any excess food within the feeders, then using hot soapy water, I began to wash everything out and fully disassemble any of the remaining parts on the feeders. Some of these feeders are held together by a screw that connects a bar through the center of the feeder, and I made sure to remove all of those individually, cleaning each piece. And if you're wondering, the reason why it's important to keep feeders clean is to help stop the spread of disease. Not only that, but bacteria can build up within the bottom of the feeders. But don't worry, it's nothing that a good scrub in some hot soapy water can't fix. I worked my way through each feeder and changed the water when necessary. Once everything was cleaned, I set them aside and left them for a day or two just to fully dry out. I didn't want to add any more food until I knew everything was completely dry. I also purchased this small bee hotel. They're relatively inexpensive, but they're a great addition to the garden. They come in all different shapes and sizes, and you can pretty much pick them up anywhere. But I really like this little yellow one, so let's hope the bees find it soon. Whilst outside, I also took the opportunity to clean this bird box and reconnect the camera to my Wi-Fi inside. It's still working really well, and I've been happy to see that a blue tit has taken residency in there at night. I used a rake on my lawn to scratch away at some of the moss. I left a pile of this for any wild birds to hopefully use in their nest, as nesting season is upon us, but I also put a little bit at the bottom of the bird box. I found this tends to help with keeping it cleaner for longer, and after cleaning it, I wanted to make sure that it stayed clean. And my work was soon rewarded, because the following morning, a couple of great tits began to check out the box. I don't know if they'll nest in it for sure, but let's keep our fingers crossed, as I've yet to see any babies inside this box. With the feeders now fully dry, it was time to reassemble everything and begin filling it all up with seed. Thankfully, the Feeder 2 is really easy to put together, so this didn't take very long at all. As for bird food, I've actually been using a mixture. It was a combination of sunflower seeds and mixed grain that I then mixed together and used in all of my feeders. And it's been very popular because they've been draining down really quickly. Whilst the weather was still cold, I have been using suet bowls still and Niger seeds for the finches. However, remember, whatever I feed my birds in my area may not be the same for you, so make sure you just play around with different types and just try and monitor which ones birds in your area seem to prefer. And once the birds become used to your feeders, just make sure to keep them topped up, regularly checking them and cleaning them from then on. Now don't forget to leave me your suggestions in the comments down below, and stay tuned for future videos when we might finally get to see this blue tit build a nest.